Kimi, many congratulations. Obviously, Kimi Räikkönen was the Iceman. Was it a bit of Kimi Antonelli, the Iceman today? Because you had to deal with losing the lead and you had to deal with the VSC situation as well. How pleased are you that you managed that so well, all of that?
Yeah, no, it was a hard-fought race. Definitely was not straightforward. Pace-wise, we were all pretty close. Ferrari was very quick as well. Yeah, on my side, I tried to stay calm and then try to make my way back into the lead. And it was not straightforward because, as I said, Ferrari was very quick. And still, when I went in the lead, I couldn't break away that quickly. Also because the toe was very powerful today, especially in the last sector. So, yeah, it was not easy, but great teamwork.
Yeah. Well, listen, the summer break is approaching. George didn't finish today. You've got 50 points on him, nearly 50 on Lewis in second place. It's a very strong position you find yourself in.
Yeah, of course, it's a good position, but we saw earlier that you can never relax because the situation can just swing very, very quickly. So that's why it's important to maximize every opportunities and just try to bring home the best result as possible every time.
Congratulations, your 6th career victory. How are you feeling after that race?
I'm very happy. Very happy. It was a hard-fought race. Was not straightforward at all. And with the first lap, everyone deploying differently, and then the safety car, and then the VSC, and we had to fight for it. But it was a great team effort, and very happy with the result today.
As you say, a lot of different deployment strategies. We knew that around this track that was going to be different and even more challenging. How was the experience for you in the car in terms of that?
Yeah, it was very tricky because also compared to the Ferrari, we were deploying a lot differently and we had to change completely our strategy, especially to try and break away from that overtake. But also the toe today was so powerful. When I caught Charles and then went into the lead. Then, I was like, oh, I might be in trouble because the wind was so gusty and the toe was just very powerful. And Charles, to be fair, today, the great pace. So it was, we had to dig deep and we had to really fight for it.
Great pace. As you say, it was not that easy for you to catch him after, of course, he had the advantage of the VSC pit stop, which was a bit unfortunate for you in timing. But, did you expect it to be that tricky to catch up to them?
Well, to be fair, we knew their pace was strong, but obviously they were very strong, and also because they, especially in sector 2, today we were struggling a little bit in the old tarmac bits. Was struggling a little bit with the rears there, and Charles was always able to put a little bit of a gap there, whilst we were very strong in the last chicane in turn 1. So it was not easy, but to be fair, today they were very quick.
So I don't know if you feel more of a sense of pressure relief than our poor cameraman who's walking up these stairs backwards right now. But obviously you've extended your lead in the championship. George had a very unfortunate, end to his race very early on before it even got started. Does that make you a little bit more relaxed going into, obviously there's one more race, but summer break very near?
Yeah, I never want to relax too much because, of course, it's a great result, and I think was a good redemption after last year, because last year was a very dark moment for me, and to get the win is very special. But you can never relax because we've seen even in the past how the situation can swing so quickly. So that's why it's important to really maximize and take every opportunity that are given, and just make the best out of it because you never know what can happen.
Well, before I let you go, because I know you've got to get to the press conference, but as you said, last year was a very different year here in Spa. What do you put it down to from your side as a driver to have the evolution you've had in just 12 months?
Yeah, it's obviously, as I always said, the 1 year of experience makes a huge difference. When you go back on the same track after 1 year, obviously it's a lot different. You're much better the conditions, the track evolution, the tire degradation. So you're just much more aware of everything. And for sure, I feel like much more mature as a person as well. So yeah, it's great, but of course there's still lots of work to do.
Well done. You have a lot to be proud of. I'm going to let you go.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
Bad luck, obviously, with the VSC. Otherwise, would second have been a reasonable outcome for you today, do you think?
Well, yeah, I think it would have been a battle probably with Charles for second without a VSC, but I mean, for me, it's been quite a straightforward weekend, nothing too crazy. The race pace was all right. Still struggling a little bit with balance, little balance problems to go faster in the race, but yeah, in general, the weekend was nice, so I think that is also a positive.
Yeah, bigger picture stuff. I mean, Ferrari, they're talking about needing an engine upgrade to fight Mercedes. You guys, do you need to win a political battle maybe to get the opportunity to have a better power unit in your car?
I mean, I would also love an engine upgrade.
Yeah.
But, that's not in my hands.
But it's what you're lacking. But I mean, how much is it? Because you're meant to have the best ones.
Yeah, I mean, meant to be, but when you look at qualifying, it doesn't really look like it, does it? So I don't know what to say.
You battled really hard to fourth in the end there. I think the incident with George, we thought it might be seen as a racing incident in commentary. Do you feel unlucky to get a penalty for that?
I mean, I don't count myself unlucky. I think about my mistake that I made yesterday. So I take full responsibility really for the fourth place I ended up getting because I damaged the car. Then when they rebuilt the car, they missed something on the suspension, so the balance was completely different. So it meant I was probably a good couple tenths, maybe 3 tenths slower than I should have been in qualifying, and then I ended up further back, got in the incident, 5-second penalty. So just like a domino effect from, I think, a mistake from myself. So, but the team have been doing a great job with strategy, pit stops. We are continuing to improve the car. I think our pace today, without the damage, I think we could have been challenging for the win.
Yeah. We're waiting on obviously the release, and you were looking for a front wing change, and I think he's fine, and you were immediately concerned for him, but you're worried you might pick up a penalty for that.
I mean, I don't know I did what the green light went, and so I went. You're looking over here, you're not looking over there, so that's more kind of probably on the team ultimately. But when it happened, I noticed him and I stopped. And what went through my mind in that moment was back when Kimi hit and broke a leg, and my heart really sank for a second. But I'm really grateful he's okay.
Just on the look on the positive, if you go to Hungary, it's a great track for you. You know, you're second in the championship again. It looks like that will be the case. There's an engine upgrade coming. Are you very hopeful that the season can gather momentum for you?
I think so. I think this weekend a bit unfortunate, and then Silverstone again. I think it's really great to see the performance that we're bringing, and we're improving the car constantly. I think we've got more stuff coming in the pipeline to try and close that gap down. But to be here and have the pace generally that we did as a team is really encouraging. And I think, I think there's still a long way to go. I can't afford weekends like this in the sense of my performance yesterday. So I'm going to step it up in terms of focus level for next week.
Thank you. Cheers, Landy. You gave it everything today. Obviously had to try something a bit different with the strategy. I suppose the only question is, might you have pitted under the VSC, or was that too far to go on the mediums?
I have to go and see with the team, see what their decision was. That's always part of it. The bad part today was just the pit stop. The pit stop cost us, 5 seconds or something. So that's easily points on Hajar, and probably a gap that I could have caught to the cars ahead of that, even up to Oscar. So a shame. Just everything that could have made my life tough today came my way. Obviously starting with a P13, but the pace was very, very strong. Probably the best pace we've had all season. Honestly, I think we had pace to win the race today, which is very positive, but don't know why. It's we've not really changed anything since last weekend. We've of course tried to optimize the car, but if we go back to Silverstone, we're still going to be miles off, and we're still going to struggle. So we have to understand why this track was a bit better for us, and just hope that the rest of the season is the same.
Well, you have got this package coming for the next race, and if it can build on today's performances, are you hopeful you can? The team has a history of upgrade packages that work, but maybe this one might really put you at the front.
Let's just be patient. I mean, I'm always the guy that's like glass half empty, so let's just wait and see. Let's make sure it works first before we get a little bit happier. I think we're still half a second off our pole this weekend, so even though the result could have been better and the pace looked better, I think it's a track that doesn't suit the Ferraris because they're so slow in the straights, and we have to still be happy that we have that as our advantage at the minute. But we have to still just try and upgrade the car because we're not where we want to be.
It's awful disappointment for you. What was your assessment of the incident? I don't know if you've watched it back with Lewis. What do you think?
Well, I just got totally swallowed up down the straight. I lost 3 positions down the straight, down into turn 5, and then the incident was a racing incident. Maybe I could have gone a bit wider, maybe he could have braked a bit more. The incident shouldn't have happened if I had the speed down the straight. So, yeah, very, very disappointed.
Yeah, listen, it could cost you an awful lot of points relative to Kimi at the end of today. How can you get your head around that?
Nothing to say. No words at the moment. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, and just finally, you've got this issue to deal with as well. I mean, speaking to Toto in advance of the race, he thinks a solution can be found to give you parity of equipment, at least the team. I mean, I know it seems everyone's confused, but can you take some heart from that? You can...
I appreciate everyone's working hard to solve the problem, but I'm stood here on lap 5 of the race, and felt like I was in a good position to fight for the lead up to turn 1, and then suddenly no power and it's all gone.
Sorry, George. Thank you. Well, Oscar, I think you finished 5th on the road. Maybe you'll inherit 4th. Let's see what happens to Lewis. What about that contact with Charles Leclerc early on? I think in commentary we thought it might have been a penalty for him. You took some damage as well from that.
Yeah, I lost like the side board thing. Okay, maybe I shouldn't call it a sideboard. That's something you put in your hallway. But I lost parts of my car, and I don't know where I was supposed to go. So I was equally surprised that nothing came of it. Obviously, it's small contact with, had big consequences for me. Could have had very big consequences for both of us, but it is what it is. So I think from then on the race was definitely more difficult. The balance suffered quite a lot for the first stint after that, and then we were able to compensate a bit in the second stint, and the pace seemed better again. But it was just a bit of a tricky race from then on.
I mean, you seem to be a little bit on the back foot from the start of this weekend, and we're finding solutions. Lando was pleased with the pace of the race car here. You've got this upgrade coming for Hungary, so could a corner be turned? I keep talking about this season for McLaren, but could this be it?
I hope so, but I mean, the others aren't going to be standing still. The others are going to be bringing upgrades as well. Definitely we're a bit inconsistent at the moment. This weekend we did look better, even yesterday for myself. Q3, there was a power unit anomaly, and the rest of my lap was good. So, yeah, there's just a lot of things that skew the picture a bit at the moment, and I think hopefully we can get on top of those bits first, but also some upgrades will definitely help, because the car can be quick on a day like today, but extracting the pace out of it is very, very tough. So hopefully that makes us quicker and a little bit more consistent.
With that 6th place today, people look at the strategy, but when you're in the middle of that race and having to make a stint go a certain distance, how testing was that for you out there?
We knew that was part of the plan, starting nearly last, and we worked on it quite a lot through practice sessions. 1 lap pace was not the target, and today paid off. So I'm glad we really put the work in on the long run. I think it really helped, and moving forward, maybe change a bit the approach, because it seems to work really well.
Well, listen, you've got that engine into the pool now. Hopefully this weekend you won't need a repeat of what happened. But listen, it's 10 events in now to life at Red Bull Racing. How settled do you feel? How ready are you to even maybe push on a little bit now?
I think 1 lap pace, I've showed what I needed to show. Today I think is probably my best race pace wise. I'm right up there with the leaders, so I'm very glad with the first 10 races. And to be honest, looking forward to the race because there's so many things we need to tidy up in the team in a good way that I think there's a lot more to come.
Very well
Thank
done.
you.
Doing a really good job to continue to bring performance to the car, and it's showing on track.
Yeah, and the experience you're getting by some of the battles on track. I see you're chatting to Gabby, another little brush with your teammate, little fight with him around Eau Rouge as well. So all of that's going into the experience bank, if I can call it that.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, me and Liam had a good battle. It was pretty fun out there, and then also with Gabby, we were pushing each other on, I think 20-25 laps, really flat out. And that's what racing's about. Obviously, it's a little bit sad to be on the worst side of that, because I think on a normal race we would have been ahead of him. But at the same time, fair play to Audi and him, because they rolled the dice with the VSC and they capitalized on it. So fair play to them today. It worked out. But I think regardless of the end result, we've done a really good job as a team, especially on my side of the garage. And we've been very fast all weekend, so looking forward to Budapest now.
Really well done.
Cheers.
Podium there for Max. Got a big roar from the crowd, so they enjoyed that. A little bit unlucky with the VSC there.
Yeah, unlucky with the VSC because I think he would have been on merit ahead of Charles. But we know it's part of racing. There is nothing we can do. I think at first it's a very, very strong result for everyone back at home in Milton Keynes, having worked so hard to get the car stronger and stronger. And we've made a step forward after Austria. It was a bit of a more difficult weekend in Silverstone a week ago, and here we have confirmed that we can fight for podiums pretty much at every circuit. So the last bit to get is the most difficult, and Kimi had still a sizable advantage, but everyone is working very hard to close that gap.
And you must be pleased with Isaac's race on the back of the grid. You guys rolled the dice for that early pit stop under the safety car, and it played out well. He ended up only 11-12 seconds behind Max there. You should be happy there.
Yeah, absolutely. As always, the team is very, very strong with this sort of strategic choice. So it was not an obvious one, and they made it stick once again. I have to say, Isaac's pace was fantastic. The same one and the top three guys, and he cuts through the field and managed to keep Lando behind. So certainly his best race with us. Every time he goes out in that car, he's making a step forward, and it's good to have two very strong cars now.
Thank you very much. Thanks. 5th and 7th for your drivers today. Do you think that's a fair reflection of the pace of the car being the 4th fastest this weekend?
Well, actually, I think this weekend we were more competitive than that. Lando's natural position was P3 on the grid, and then we had to pay the penalty for the power unit element. And I think today, starting from P3, Lando would have been in contention for a podium. We saw a really strong pace in the race. In reality, his race starting from P13 was strong in catching up at the start, but then the timing of the virtual safety car and also the time we lost at the pit stop for a technical problem meant that Lando couldn't do any better than P7, but definitely a car today for a podium finish, which is encouraging. And on Oscar's side, I think we just suffered too much tire degradation. It was okay while the tires were in, but with Oscar we need to look at ways of reducing tire degradation, leaning a little bit less on the tires.
And was that to do with the flow damage? We heard some of the radio communications after the contact with Charles. He sustained some damage. Do you think that contributed to the issue of Oscar?
Definitely. Because of losing the board, we lost between 5 and 10 points of downforce, dependent on the condition. And obviously, when you have to find pace, pushing the tires, then the tires may degrade more. I think that's when we see the trace of stint 1 and stint 2 for Oscar. We see that to stay there, he's using the tires a lot, and then the tires kind of give you the bill at the end of the stint. So a bit of a shame for the damage, a bit of a shame for the penalty, but overall I think some encouraging indications compared to what we saw in Silverstone, and we look forward to a strong second part of the season with some upgrades coming as of Hungary.
Finally, we're coming from two very fast circuits, Silverstone and Spa. We're going to a very different track in Budapest. Where do you think you guys will fit in? Do you think that type of circuit is going to suit you more or less?
I think in Hungary, the Netherlands, we will see the Ferrari being back to probably being the fastest car. We see in the corners they are extremely competitive. when it comes to McLaren. We know that we have to improve the grip in the corners. We have some upgrades coming for this already in Hungary. We need even more that what comes in Hungary will come for the following races. Our objectives are very clear. Not all will be solved in the coming race, but hopefully in the second part we will be there contending for victories.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It is here, Toto. Another day of contrasts across both sides of your garage. Utter disappointment for George, but let's start with Kimi. Another fine display. So confident all weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for Kimi. He really deserves to win because Silverstone should have been his, and he had a DNF on the car. And today, all weekend already, it was very strong. Never dropped the ball. Even if the VSC went against him and he lost the lead, he just regained it, eked out tenths by tenths, and he merits that victory.
I've got to say our heart goes out to George because it's been a bit of a roller coaster of a year in general, but particularly this weekend it feels like there's been a lot of ups and downs, him having to explain that it's not necessarily his driving that's causing the lack of speed at the end of the straight. But coming out of La Source on that opening lap, you could really tell. I mean, look at the pictures here. Obviously this is the incident a little bit later on with Lewis Hamilton, but just out of La Source it just felt like he all of a sudden just lost absolute acceleration and the others were just closing down on him.
Yeah, I think it's two situations here. First is the racing, the accident that happened. Unfortunate for us, we lost a lot of constructor points and George driver points. And then we had an issue on all Mercedes engines that we lacked the power out on the straight, and that bit him badly. It's 100% goes on us. But we're trying our best as a team. We have the most powerful power unit. We have a strong car that is capable of winning. Everybody gives its maximum for to minimize the mistakes, and still it happens because we are humans at work, and we let Kimi down in Silverstone where George got a podium that was maybe better than the result should have been, and then one DNF'd in Montreal, the other one DNF'd in Barcelona. That's a little bit the story of this of our season here. It's a technical sport, mechanical sport.
I guess then there's question marks really, Toto. You said there you have the most powerful power unit, and arguably the updates would disagree with that, but I guess your power comes from the battery and the deployment. So, McLaren put the new power unit in this weekend. Is reliability an ongoing concern, and is there more that you can do with that battery to overcome, let's say, an ICE or an internal combustion deficit?
I'm proud to be part of the organization in HPP and MGP. Those groups of people give it all they have, and we came out with a product this year that is so strong. And I'd rather to fix reliability rather than try to accelerate a slow engine or a slow car. We're giving it 100%. We need to give it 100% because we lost a lot of points of reliability. We should have been much further ahead than we are.
Toto's, you guys, obviously, when the package comes together, are the quickest out there. So there's a lot of positivity. But I guess it is a very complex year to understand. There's a lot of little elements that we don't get to see, a lot of minutiae in the driving. That's very different to what we would have been used to seeing instinctively from drivers. Can you help us understand what is it about the driving style that will affect the way that the power unit operates in the top speed? And what is it that you guys can point out from what George is doing that's different to Kimi?
I think, first of all, it's very different, and I think this is probably an advantage that Kimi has because it reset for everyone. Then the component of energy harvesting and energy deployment plays a role. Even the way you go on the throttle, whether you give it a full throttle or half, and when you lift off, can have a consequence in terms of the energy delivery. And that's another dimension that has been added to the driving. Now, some drivers may not like it, others may say, okay, we just need to get used to it, but it's another component that makes it more complex.
We understand George was reasonably upset afterwards, as you can imagine. What are you going to say to him now? And does the summer break, I should imagine he really wants to get to that so he can reset. But as his boss, what will you say to him?
I haven't seen him yet, but he's completely understandable that the moment you're out of this race, it's so frustrating, and the emotions spoil, and that's why, I completely understand. But he has our 100% support. We are trying to solve all the issues. He's doing everything he can to to get on top of his driving. So yeah, I haven't spoken to him, but I'm gonna try to put my arm around him.
Good man.
Yeah, we watched the post-race interviews of the drivers. We had a lot of drivers in our video, and of course, we're going to. I'm going to give my honest opinions about the race and the drivers, what they said, and the other stuff that happened at Formula One. I want to just start with the Kimi Antonelli. As we know, yesterday it was his father's birthday, and he nominated his pole position to his father for his birthday. And also today we had the win from the Kimi Antonelli with a perfect car from the Mercedes and the perfect driving from the Kimi Antonelli. I think it was a very well deserved result for him today, but I cannot say the same things about his teammate because, as we know, he just immediately at the early beginning of the race he just got DNF. He had an accident with Lewis Hamilton. There is a lot of speculations that maybe Hamilton had a chance, let's say, to give him more space or maybe to brake a little bit much more earlier to avoid the accident, but no one will do that there. And also, if it was any other driver on that place, not Hamilton, it would be the same results for the George Russell, I think. And also he said that, like, I'm not going to blame to Lewis Hamilton, and of course also he said that one thing and another one thing after another it's happening to him. A lot of unlucky moments for him at the Formula One. And of course, there was Lewis Hamilton, as he said, there was nothing to do for him to avoid that crash, and we had Max Verstappen. He was like a little bit happy about this performance, but of course, men like Max Verstappen, men like Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, they drive always for the win the race, but today's win. I think it was very deserved for the Kimi Antonelli and a lot of drivers we had in our video. Just if you want not to miss any of this kind of video, be safe until Hungaroring, and don't forget to like this video, to comment it, and to subscribe to the channel.